Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights. I am one half of your hosts, JD, aka He Who Pods. Glasses on today, so also aka Rearview Mirror. Dash will be joining us in just a moment. Let's get straight into it on this Friday evening. So I thought this was really cool and totally worth sharing. This is from Blex Media. It says Kevin Hart's Heartbeat and Sundial Media to launch Essence branded fast channel for Black women. The caption says Kevin Hart's entertainment company Heartbeat is teaming up with Sundial Media and Technology Group, the parent company to Essence, Afropunk, and Refinery 29, to launch an Essence branded FAST. FAST stands for free ad supported streaming television. Oh, I did not know that's what FAST stands for. This is why I need Dash here, because Dash probably knew that that's what FAST stands for. Unbelievable. So, they're launching a free ad-supported streaming television channel. It says it's a first-of-its-kind move aimed squarely at filling a major gap in the streaming landscape. A premier digital platform specifically made for Black women. It says, and it's not just a new channel, it's a cultural destination. Now, that, my friends, is advertising. A cultural destination? Grab your flip flops and your suitcase. You're going to a destination, your living room, to watch this new channel. I think this is great. I think that there is, I do agree there's a gap. We do have channels like Oprah's channel, O Network, or whatever it's called. I don't know. See, this is why I need Dash here. Anyway, you do have stuff like that. You do have stuff like Lifetime, but not necessarily aimed specifically at the type of crowd that Essence has. And I think that maybe you could argue some of the Oprah channel stuff is that, but I think this is a little more grounded, and this will probably be a little more interesting because it probably will not be drowning in Tyler Perry content. And so even if it is drowning in Tyler Perry content, and I'm absolutely wrong, I still think this is a dope move. I think this is really smart for them to do. I think this is a great way to combine two worlds as far as the production goes, to create this channel specifically for women. You got all type of stuff that is men-centered and sports-related channels. There's a bunch of those, and they mostly focus on men's sports, for example. I think this is great. I'm curious to see what type of content will go up here. And I wonder, will they outsource from like the Oprah Network and Lifetime? And as you can see, I'm a man. So if there's another channel that exists, I don't know. But those are the two that immediately pop into my head. And so, yeah. And I think me being not well versed is proof that there is a gap. And so shout out to them for trying to fill that gap. Shout out to them for centering women. I think those are two great things. I don't have much more to say there. So let's move to our next topic. In Marvel What If news, that's a joke. Something you probably didn't think you would see, I have to talk about. It's kind of crazy. But an EP dropped today called Never Stop. And it says that it is King Combs, Ye, Kanye West, and others are on one song. There's a 7-song EP. Looks like, from what I understand, I did not press play, so just what I read says, and I could be wrong if I am, feel free to tell me in the comments because I'm not pressing play on this thing. But my understanding, what I read said it was a King Combs project produced by Kanye West. And I think the track titles are interesting. The track list, the names of the songs are interesting. Clearly, there are some messages being put out here. And so track 1 is called Lonely Roads. Okay, that sounds cool. Track 2 is called Kim. One can only assume without pressing play that this is about Kim Porter, because the only other Kim I could think of it being is Lil Kim, and I doubt King Combs is rapping about Lil Kim. The next song is called People Like Me, and yes, in the middle of the project, smack dab in the middle, track number 4 is called Diddy Free. Now, I did not hear this, but it is the words Free Diddy backwards, Diddy Free instead of Free Diddy. Uh, I don't know. I didn't listen to this. I won't listen to it, but you can see where this is going. The next song is called Repeat Me. That could be left up to interpretation. Again, I will not press play on this project. The next song is called The List. Now, I got to be honest, when I saw that title, my imagination started running a little wild. Because I was like, what if this is like the shit list? All the people that's on the Combs family shit list now. I think that would be really interesting. But I won't find out. If y'all know, y'all could put it in the comments. Just don't be putting like all the lyrics because I ain't going to read them. And the last song is called Soul's Outro. Now, something I think is notable here is Northwest is on the first track, Lonely Roads, along with someone named Joss, Jaas, Joss, Jazz. I don't know, but yeah, I think this is really interesting. Especially it's coming out as the Diddy trial is coming to an end. Closing statements were today, if I understand correctly, and so I think this is interesting. One thing I do want to say is that we know Kanye was mentioned and wanted to make sure we knew it was him when it comes to the trial. And if that's your homie, that's who you're gonna stick by. That's your right as an American citizen. But I think like you sold the Sean John shirts. Now you're producing this project for his son. Just feel like Kanye, I really wish you would sit down and chill out. I won't be listening to this project once again. I know I said it like 7 times. I just want to reiterate, I won't be listening to this. But if you did, let me know your thoughts in the comments. I don't even like that this exists, to be honest. I just feel like the timing is weird. And I know that means it's intentional because that's how Kanye gets down. So, yeah. I don't know how he gets down in the freak offs, but I know how he gets down when it comes to doing weird public music related stuff. I had to say it. I'm sorry I couldn't keep it in. That's what she said. All right, that's it. Enough. And now for the dash topic of the day.
Hi, I'm here again. You never know if I'm going to be here or not, but I'm here again.
I don't say that. We need you here more and more.
Oh, well,
Isn't that a Joe song? More and more.
yes.
And after that, more and more.
Yes, that is definitely a Joe song. Nah, nah, nah,
Exactly.
nah, nah. Anyway, yeah, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, so we could get into it. Um, just came to talk about Ricky Rose real quick.
Rose!
Now, I'm well documented being a Rick Ross fan. I
Yes,
love
you
me
are.
some Rick Ross, and I
You're the
just feel
biggest
like
boss that we've seen thus far.
exactly. And I love that for him. I always enjoy his music because I just feel like it's so vibey. I feel like with Rick Ross, you don't need to be listening to R&B to feel like you're in like a mood. He kind of takes you there with the type of music he makes. So I was excited when I saw that Rick Ross had released a song. You actually sent it to me, and I got
Before
excited.
I
I
even
told you,
pressed play.
yeah. I
As
said
soon as I saw it, I'd even press play. I just said, well, wait a minute. Share.
you sent it over, and I said to you, I'm going to listen to this right away because I was excited about what was coming. What did you think of it? What
I'm
did
about to
you
say,
think? Well, wait. What did? Sorry, what were you going to say?
I would say let's pause and tell them at least the name of the song.
For the Love of Money, is that what it's called?
It's called For the Money.
For the Money, sorry.
It's okay, I got you. Because
Whoops.
well, he said that on the hook. So I understand why you would think that. It says it is Pharrell and Rick Ross. That's I think notable because we're not usually seeing that.
Hmm.
But it also says on the artwork produced by Pharrell Williams. So I think it's interesting that we're seeing that in the artwork and on the record, like the credits.
Pharrell might be the hardest working man in show business, okay? Because Pharrell has been busy lately. He's been, holding Louis Vuitton on his shoulders.
Yeah.
He's been working with the Clips to get this album out. Now we find out that him and Rick Ross have been in the studio. Pharrell is he's doing what Pharrell does, and let me ask you something, and maybe we need to take this out. I don't know, but let me ask you something about this Rick Ross song. Is the song about strippers?
Oh, I don't think so. And
Okay,
I
I
don't
didn't
think
think
that's a
so
bad
either.
question either. I think
I,
it's a good
I, I didn't
question.
think so either.
Oh, okay.
But
No,
I just wanted to
the
make
song is
sure.
about Rick Ross experimenting. Because what the hell is this?
Okay, wait. Well, I was just asking that because I do agree he's experimenting. But that's what I was gonna say. I turned the song on and I was like, "Am I at the strip club?"
I
This
feel like
felt very strip club music to me.
it felt like he was trying to catch one, as they say. Um,
I don't. He shouldn't have. He should have.
it seemed like he heard this beat. Maybe he heard some of those Clips records and was like, "Oh yeah, I want some of that sauce." And Pharrell was like, "All right, here. I even help you with the flow a little bit if you want." Not that he gave it to him, but sometimes you in the studio and somebody's like, "You probably want to do it like this." It seemed like he got a little nudge, a little suggestion. Rick
Hmm.
Ross was like, "I see that. I take that suggestion." You know,
I like Rick Ross for the things that he does, right? I don't like Rick Ross for being someone who takes risks. That's not the reason I like him. Um,
you want to hear, "I'm Not a Star." You want to hear BMF. You want to hear Elvis Presley Boulevard.
right. Or, because he has two modes, that, or I want to hear Aston Martin music. I want to hear Diced Pineapples. I want to hear um, Stay Scheming. I'm
You'll never hear Stay Scheming again or Aston Martin music because him and Drake.
That's fine. I want to hear Maybach music. I want to hear him and John
No,
Legend. They could do that again. Uh, Him and John Legend are magic.
mm,
My point is, he has a very specific sound. We've spoken about this before. He
yes.
also has like only two different lanes, I feel like.
Okay. I
The hip
think
hop
three,
heads
but I
will
see
kill
what
me
you're
for
saying.
this. But
Now you don't got a lot. He got three in my opinion, but I see why you say two.
the songs we just described, I think, establish what those lanes are. Go listen to them the way we shared them, and you'll understand what I'm saying if you don't get what I'm saying. Not gonna sit here and explain that right now. But this, again, listening to it, I was like, is he trying to like what is what is he trying to do? Is this his Nokia? Is this like his version of a one dance? Like what? Why is he doing this? He doesn't need to do this. That's not why we look to Rick Ross. And that's why I say I know a lot of people don't agree with this, but I do think there are artists who can just stay in their lane and it will be fine. If you as the audience don't receive that well, that's okay because there are other artists that give you risk, that give you variety in what they do. I don't believe that every artist has to do that. I think some artists have a lane. And once they stay in their lane, they succeed.
They should stick to the script.
Exactly. But there are artists who are out there out of respect for Rick Ross. I'm not going to start naming other people's names, but there are artists out there who will, one album will sound this way and then the next album will sound completely different, and so on and so forth, but we still like all of them. That's not every artist. And that's okay. Rick Ross got to do what Rick Ross does. Kind of what I've been saying about that other guy. I won't bring him up because, like I said, I'm not trying to say anybody's names, but I've said it here on the podcast. I feel like I'm giving the formula about what he needs to do to get back in everybody's good graces, and he's not listening. Rick Ross, don't do this to yourself. This I felt like I was at the strip club, and don't get me wrong, like music that plays at the strip club is fine, but that's not the kind of music that Rick Ross
Oh
should be
shit!
making. And
I don't think this is gonna play in the strip club.
I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying because you know why I keep saying it sounds like it belongs in a strip club, because it's like the song is fast, but it's slow,
Oh, it's slow.
but it's fast, but
It's
it's
got like a
slow.
little fake. It got like a little fake bop to it, like bam, bam, bam,
Yeah,
bam,
it's
bam,
like
bam, 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 bam,
right, but it's
bam, bam.
also a slow song, and it's like what do for real?
He was trying to get his cha cha on. You know what I'm saying?
This is not what I want to hear from Rick Ross. And I know people will get in our comments and say, "Well, I went to the strip club and heard this, and that from Rick Ross." I believe you, and I'm sure you're right. Um, that's not the point here. The point is this particular thing is not the thing. It's
It
not the
was like
thing.
he was listening to Daddy Yankee, or maybe what's the new Daddy Yankee's name? I always forget his name.
Bad Bunny,
Bad Bunny. There you go. He's
the new
listening to
Daddy
Bad
Yankee.
Bunny. He is the new Daddy Yankee. He's Daddy Yankee 2.0.
You just sound old when you say that.
Okay, I'm cool with that. But yeah, it's like he was listening to some Bad Bunny and was like, I think I could do that, but in
Yeah.
English. Bad Bunny
But
fans are
in
like,
English,
but in English.
please
He's
stop.
like, I don't know what he's saying, but that shit is hard. Let me try to do some shit like that.
His just didn't feel right. And I love Rick
Listen,
Ross.
I see both sides, right? We often critique, myself included, we often critique the one trick ponies. We say they rap the same, all their music sounds the same. I'm on record saying
Yeah,
those
you
list of
are.
songs that I read off, BMF, I'm Not a Star, Elvis
Mhm.
Presley Boulevard, it's the same song.
It's the
He
same
gives you
song.
that. It's the same song every album. He
Right.
gives you one of those every album. I think it's okay, and I'm a Rick Ross fan too. I just like different songs than the ones you quoted. Some are the same, but my
And
go-to Rick Ross songs.
and let's be clear, the songs that I named are just to describe his genre, not to say those are
Nah, I
my
know what she was
favorite
doing.
songs, but those are the songs that describe what I'm trying to say, and the first ones that came to my mind that fit
No,
the
and
description.
and I understood totally where you was going, and I agree.
Okay.
Those are the template Rick Ross songs, the default Rick Ross songs. I'm saying for me, my Rick Ross fandom comes from some of the songs that are not the default songs.
Right.
Some are, but more are not. I like when Rick Ross is like with a Mariah Carey or something like that, and I like when he does the struggle raps. We don't get a lot of those, but I am a person on record saying like, hey, Rick Ross gonna do the same shit every album. I'm not
Hmm.
excited. So I understand him hearing those critiques and saying, all right, let me try some different shit. It's been years of me doing the same copy and paste thing. Let me try some different shit. So on one side, I understand it. But on the other side, I'm like, but who told Rick Ross this was a good idea? Because in the experimentation, you can't put out every experimentation song. That's what I learned the hard way as an artist. Every
Right.
time
Make
you
your music in
experiment,
private.
you can't release that. Sometimes you got to be like, all right, we're gonna just keep this one in the vault.
And this one is in the
Don't even
cut.
mix this one. Actually, now that I heard it back, it's okay. I don't know why y'all let me record that. Actually, I probably shouldn't have did that one. So I understand that as well. wanting to experiment, maybe wanting to try some different shit. Like I said, maybe he was out and heard that Bad Bunny and was like, "All right, yeah, I might could do this." You know what I'm saying? Because it got that little.
No, I know what it's doing, but I was like, Rick Ross, like, give me another Santorini. Give me like the Amalfi Coast. You haven't done that yet.
There you
Give me
go.
that. You know, you know, night in Bermuda. I don't know. Just give me something, cause where you like by the water. He was probably not by the water. He was probably somewhere very close to land because I feel like Rick Ross is at his best when he's near water. I don't know what his sign is. I don't really care. I'm just saying I think he
Oh my god.
does his best when he's near the water. He's able to touch the ocean, get on a jet ski, you know.
Right.
He been on the farm too much. He been with them cows and whatever other animals he got. He need to get back to the beach because when Rick Ross is at the beach, he vibes. It feels like he's at the beach when he's at the beach. Now when he's in the studio, there's a difference. Like when he's not even land, I don't even know what it is. Maybe it's when he's in the clubs. I don't know. Maybe it's when he's outside. That's when we get the more the stuff that you were talking about, right? That other side to it. I, Ross, get back on a jet ski. Please. Get back on a jet ski soon.
I
Because
just feel like where's Khaled? Khaled was cool with him putting this out. Khaled didn't try to stop him. Khaled didn't say, "Hey, wait, maybe not this one."
Khaled seemed like the type of dude that eventually he'd just be like, well, just, yep, whatever you want to do. And Khaled probably realizes he hasn't been to the beach in a little while either. So, you know, you got to when dudes want to touch dirt, not grass, but dirt, you got to let him. He going to come back around. I hope. I thought Drake was going to come back around. He hasn't. I said I wasn't going to say his name. Oh, well, I did.
I already gave my advice to Drake, so
I gave mine too. That's why, you know, if Drake doesn't want to heed advice that he's been given by two people he will never hear of,
Drake, give
then
us a
so
call.
be it.
Drake, give us a call.
Right.
I'm sure you can find the numbers.
I know what the people want.
And Ross, stay away from Pharrell.
And dirt.
Ladies and
Go
gentlemen,
go get in the ocean. Let's do some zip lining or something. Right into the no, he needs some parasailing, some hang gliding. What was that song? What was that line about him hang gliding? I remember, but he likes it. You know, he likes an excursion. He need to get on it, or at least get on a yacht.
at
That's it.
least
I'm
get on
done.
the yacht.
I'm in
All
pain.
right.
I gotta go.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, can't mess with you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for being here. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see y'all on Monday.
Bye.